Welcome to the Deep Dive by Outlier, where we uncover the market's hidden trends and give you the edge you need. Head on over to ovtlyr.com right now to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk today. Now let's jump right in.
Hey, everyone. So we've been digging into India's economy.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a puzzle.
It is.
Right? We've got this CNBC article. It's titled, RBI Keeps Rates Steady, Revises Down GDP Growth Forecast 2025 Fiscal Year. And there's a lot to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to untangle this web together, see what's really happening in India, and kind of where things might be going.
Right. Yeah. India's economy is certainly in the spotlight these days.
Oh, yeah. A lot of twists and turns.
A lot going on.
You tell me. So the Reserve Bank of India, the RBI, decided to keep interest rates steady at 6.5%.
Uh-huh.
Which, wasn't a huge surprise to anyone who's been following along. But It does make you wonder, why hold steady when inflation is still kind of out of control?
Well, you have to kind of put yourself in the shoes of the RBI. They're looking at inflation,
right,
which hit 6.21% back in October. So that's way higher than their 4% target.
Right.
So raising rates could help cool things down. But, it could also really slow down the economy, which is a risk they're clearly not ready to take.
Yeah, it's like walking a tightrope, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's all about balance.
Speaking of balance, the RBI also revised their GDP growth forecast for fiscal year 2025.
Right.
Down to 6.6%. That's a pretty noticeable drop from the 7.2% they projected earlier.
Yeah, and that 6.6% figure, that's kind of significant in itself. It shows that the RBI is recognizing those challenges,
right,
both globally and within India.
Okay, but here's where I think things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Even though they lowered the forecast, the RBI governor said he thinks the slowdown bottomed out in the September quarter. So is that like a glimmer of hope?
I think there's a cautious optimism there, yeah.
Okay.
Recent data might suggest some strength in the Indian economy, but, we can't forget all the uncertainty in the global economy and the challenges within India as well.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed bag.
So it's not all doom and gloom then?
Yeah.
I mean, the RBI did do something to try and boost things.
Right.
They cut the cash reserve ratio for banks by 0.5 percentage point.
Yeah.
They said it's to, quote, bolster liquidity. But what does that really mean for, say, a small business owner?
Well, think about it. Let's say that business owner needs a loan to expand their business, right?
Okay.
This move essentially puts more money into the system, which makes it easier for banks to actually lend that money.
Right.
So with easier access to loans, our business owner can, invest, create jobs, and hopefully help give the economy a little boost.
Ooh. And then there's the issue of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
India has a bit of a reputation for red tape and regulations.
That's another area that needs attention.
Yeah.
Streamlining regulations, reducing bureaucracy, making it easier for businesses to actually operate.
Right.
That will attract more investment, both from within India and from outside, which will create jobs and boost the economy.
Okay, so we've got these three main areas: investing in infrastructure, investing in people, and creating a better environment for businesses.
Yeah.
Seems pretty straightforward, but these are long-term solutions, right?
Definitely. There's no quick fix here. These kind of economic transformations take sustained effort, political will, and a long-term vision.
And we can't forget those differing opinions within the government. Could that cause problems down the line?
It's definitely a risk. If the government and the RBI aren't on the same page, it creates uncertainty and can really damage confidence in the economy.
So mixed signals are never a good thing.
Nope.
So for our listeners out there, what should they be paying attention to in the coming months to see how India is handling all of this?
Keep an eye on the global economic situation. If things start to go south globally, it's going to make India's balancing act even harder.
Right.
Also, watch how the rupee is doing against the US dollar.
Yeah.
If it keeps getting weaker, the RBI might have to change their strategy.
And of course, any statements from government officials.
Yeah, especially if they're expressing different opinions.
It could signal some shifts in policy down the road.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Interest rates, inflation, infrastructure, those global headwinds. It's clear that India's economic future is full of uncertainty.
But it's definitely going to be an exciting journey to watch. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the topics that matter most to you.
Hey, thanks so much for deep diving with us today. Head on over to outlier.com. That's ovtlyr.com to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk today. And we'll see you next time.